Life is meant to be lived with joy, purpose, and fulfillment. Yet, too many of us spend our days waiting for happiness to find us, not realizing it's something we create for ourselves. In his timeless classic, The Joys of Living, Orison Swett Marden, one of the pioneers of the self-help movement, shares profound insights into how to live a life full of meaning and vitality. Written in 1913, this book is as relevant today as it was over a century ago. Marden teaches us how to embrace the present moment, cultivate gratitude, build meaningful relationships, and find joy in the simple things. These lessons aren't just theories. They're practical steps you can start applying today to transform your life. In this video, I'll take you through the key lessons from this inspirational book. By the end, you'll have a roadmap for living a more joyful and fulfilling life. So, let's dive into the timeless wisdom of Orison Swett Marden's The Joys of Living. Chapter 1. The Present Moment. We often hear the phrase, live in the moment, but how many of us truly do it? Marden begins his book by reminding us of the importance of the present. He believes that many people miss out on the joys of life because they're too focused on the past or worried about the future. According to Marden, the secret to happiness lies in embracing the here and now. He writes, "Today is your life. Tomorrow is uncertain, and the past is gone forever." This idea encourages us to find beauty and joy in everyday moments rather than waiting for some distant event to bring us happiness. For instance, instead of worrying about what might happen tomorrow, take time to appreciate the small blessings around you, a kind word from a friend, the beauty of nature, or even the satisfaction of completing a task. These are the building blocks of a joyful life. Marden challenges us to stop delaying our happiness by thinking, "I'll be happy when," whether it's waiting for a promotion, a new relationship, or more money. He emphasizes that real joy isn't found in future achievements, but in how we approach life today. So, ask yourself, what can I do right now to find joy in this moment? This chapter invites us to stop waiting and start living. Chapter 2. Finding True Happiness. What does happiness mean to you? In the second chapter, Marden dives into the essence of true happiness. He explains that many people equate happiness with external success, wealth, fame, or material possessions. But according to him, these things often lead to temporary satisfaction, not lasting joy. Marden argues that true happiness comes from within. It's about living with purpose, staying true to your values, and finding contentment in the life you have. He says, happiness is not a destination. It's a way of life. This means you don't need to wait for perfect circumstances to be happy. You can cultivate it every day by focusing on the things that truly matter. One of the key lessons from this chapter is the importance of gratitude. Marden encourages us to reflect on the good in our lives rather than dwelling on what's missing. He writes, "A grateful heart is a magnet for miracles." By shifting your mindset to appreciate what you have, you'll start to notice more reasons to feel joyful. Happiness, as Marden describes it, isn't about achieving great things. It's about finding joy in the journey. Whether it's spending time with loved ones, pursuing your passions, or simply enjoying a peaceful moment, these small joys create a life worth living. Chapter 3. Building Meaningful Relationships. Life's greatest joys often come from the relationships we build with others. In this chapter, Marden highlights the importance of friendships and family in creating a fulfilling life. He believes that no success or achievement can replace the joy of being surrounded by people who care about you. Marden writes, "True wealth lies in the hearts of those who love you." This simple yet profound statement reminds us that material possessions are fleeting. But the bonds we form with others have the power to bring lasting happiness. Whether it's a close friendship, a supportive family member, or even a kind neighbor, these connections add meaning to our lives. To cultivate these relationships, Marden suggests practicing kindness and understanding. He emphasizes the power of small acts of love, sending a thoughtful message, offering a helping hand, or simply listening to someone who needs to talk. These gestures may seem minor, but they have a ripple effect, strengthening the bonds that make life rich. This chapter also reminds us of the joy found in a harmonious home. Marden describes the home as a sanctuary where love and peace should flourish. By nurturing our relationships and creating a supportive environment, we can build a foundation for a happy and meaningful life. So, take a moment to think about the people in your life. How can you show them gratitude and kindness today? As Marden says, in the end, it's not about how much we have, but how deeply we've loved. Chapter 4. The Joy of Purpose. Without purpose, life feels empty, writes Marden in this chapter. He believes that having a clear purpose, a reason to wake up each morning, fuels our happiness and keeps us moving forward. Purpose gives life meaning and direction, even when challenges arise. Marden explains that purpose isn't just about having a big dream or a career goal. It's about finding something you deeply care about and working toward it, no matter how small it seems. For some, this might mean pursuing a passion like art or writing. For others, it could be as simple as helping those around them. One of the most inspiring points in this chapter is Marden's emphasis on persistence. He writes, "The joy is not just in reaching the destination, but in striving toward it." This reminds us to celebrate the process, not just the results. Every step you take toward your goal, no matter how small, is a victory worth savoring. If you feel stuck or uncertain about your purpose, Marden suggests looking inward. What makes you feel alive? What brings you a sense of fulfillment? By answering these questions, you'll begin to uncover the path that's right for you. Purpose doesn't have to be grand, it just has to resonate with you. This chapter challenges us to stop drifting through life and start living with intention. Chapter 5. Cultivating a Healthy Mind and Body. In this chapter, Marden connects physical health to emotional and mental well-being. He argues that a joyful life begins with a healthy body and a positive mindset. Think health, live health, he says, emphasizing the power of our thoughts in shaping our reality. Marden believes that negativity and worry are just as harmful as physical ailments. If we constantly dwell on problems, we weaken our ability to find joy. Instead, he encourages us to adopt a mindset of optimism and gratitude. He writes, "A cheerful mind is a powerful healer." When it comes to physical health, Marden stresses the importance of good habits. Regular exercise, a balanced diet, and sufficient rest are non-negotiables for a joyful life. These small daily choices add up, giving you the energy and vitality to enjoy life to the fullest. The mind and body are interconnected. When you take care of one, the other benefits. Marden's advice is simple but powerful. Treat your body like a temple and your mind like a garden. Nourish them both, and you'll find yourself living a more joyful and fulfilling life. Chapter 6. Embracing Simplicity. Simplicity is often overlooked in our fast-paced world, but Marden argues that it's one of the greatest keys to happiness. In this chapter, he explores how simplifying our lives can free us from unnecessary stress and help us focus on what truly matters. He writes, "Complication is the thief of joy." When we fill our lives with too much clutter, whether it's material possessions, commitments, or worries, we lose sight of the beauty in the simple things. By cutting out what doesn't serve us, we make room for what does. Marden suggests that simplifying your life starts with your mindset. Learn to let go of perfectionism and unrealistic expectations. Instead of striving for more, focus on appreciating what you already have. A simple walk in nature, a meal with loved ones, or a quiet moment of reflection can bring immense joy. This chapter encourages us to ask, what can I let go of? By embracing simplicity, you create space for peace and happiness to flourish. Chapter 7. Finding Joy in Work. Many people view work as a necessary burden, but Marden flips this perspective, arguing that work can be a source of immense joy. He believes that finding meaning in your work, not just its outcomes, leads to a more fulfilling life. Marden writes, "The joy is in the doing." Whether you're building a career or pursuing a passion project, focusing on the process instead of the results makes the journey more rewarding. Even mundane tasks can be enjoyable when approached with the right attitude. He also emphasizes the importance of choosing work that aligns with your values and passions. If your work feels disconnected from what you truly care about, it's harder to find joy in it. However, if you approach it as an opportunity to grow, contribute, or express yourself, even challenging jobs can feel purposeful. This chapter is a reminder that joy isn't just found in leisure. It can be found in the daily grind, as long as we approach it with a positive and open mind. Chapter 8. Contentment is the key. Contentment doesn't mean settling. It means finding peace in the present while working toward a better future. Marden explains that many people are unhappy because they're constantly chasing what they don't have instead of appreciating what they do. He writes, "Discontent is the enemy of joy." When we focus on what's missing in our lives, we blind ourselves to the blessings right in front of us. Gratitude, on the other hand, shifts our perspective and helps us find happiness in even the smallest things. This chapter encourages us to pay attention to the beauty of the present moment, whether it's the warmth of the sun on your face or the satisfaction of completing a task. These little joys add up to a life well lived. Chapter 9. The Power of Optimism. Optimism is more than just seeing the glass as half full. Marden calls it a life philosophy that can change how you face challenges and live with joy. In this chapter, he argues that optimism isn't about ignoring difficulties. It's about believing in your ability to overcome them. He writes, "The optimist sees opportunity in every difficulty, while the pessimist sees difficulty in every opportunity." This mindset allows you to approach problems with confidence, creativity, and determination. Marden emphasizes that optimism is contagious. When you carry a positive attitude, you inspire others to do the same. Your energy uplifts the people around you, creating a ripple effect that spreads joy and possibility. To cultivate optimism, Marden suggests simple habits like starting each day with gratitude, focusing on solutions instead of problems, and surrounding yourself with positive influences. By adopting this mindset, you can turn even the toughest situations into opportunities for growth and happiness. Chapter 10. Courage, the Foundation of Joy. Courage is the backbone of a joyful life, according to Marden. In this chapter, he explains that fear holds many people back from living fully. Fear of failure, rejection, or the unknown can paralyze us, keeping us from pursuing our dreams and finding happiness. Marden writes, "Courage is not the absence of fear, but the ability to act in spite of it." He encourages us to take small, consistent steps toward what we want, even if we're afraid. Each act of bravery builds confidence and brings us closer to the life we desire. This chapter also highlights the importance of perseverance. Marden believes that courage isn't just about bold actions. It's about staying committed when things get tough. Whether you're facing a personal struggle or working toward a big goal, courage helps you keep moving forward. Marden's advice is clear. Don't let fear rob you of the joy and fulfillment you deserve. Step out of your comfort zone, and you'll discover strength and happiness you never knew you had. Chapter 11. The Joy of Giving. Marden believed that true joy comes not from what we receive, but from what we give. In this chapter, he explores how acts of generosity, whether big or small, can transform our lives and the lives of others. He writes, "The greatest joy in life is to bring joy to others. Whether it's offering a helping hand, sharing your time, or simply spreading kindness. Giving creates a deep sense of purpose and fulfillment." Marden also emphasizes that giving doesn't have to be material. Sometimes, the most impactful gifts are things like encouragement, compassion, or even a smile. These simple acts of generosity ripple outward, inspiring others to pay it forward. This chapter reminds us that giving isn't just good for others, it's good for us. It strengthens our relationships, boosts our happiness, and reminds us of our shared humanity. So, ask yourself, what can you give today to make someone's life brighter? Chapter 12. The Beauty of Nature. In the hustle and bustle of daily life, it's easy to overlook the healing power of nature. Marden dedicates this chapter to the joy and serenity we can find by reconnecting with the natural world. He writes, "Nature is the great restorer of the soul. Whether it's a walk in the woods, the sound of birdsong, or the sight of a sunset, these moments remind us of life's beauty and simplicity." Marden believes that spending time in nature helps us reset our minds and find clarity. It calms our worries and fills us with a sense of wonder. He encourages us to make time for nature, even in small ways like tending a garden or sitting quietly by a tree. This chapter isn't just about enjoying nature, it's about learning from it. The cycles of growth, resilience, and renewal in nature mirror the patterns of life. He writes, "Gratitude turns what we have into enough. It shifts our focus from what's missing to what's already abundant in our lives." This perspective not only makes us happier, but also attracts more good things our way. Marden suggests keeping a gratitude journal, where you write down 3 things you're thankful for each day. These don't have to be big. Simple things like a good meal, a kind word, or a sunny day can make a difference. Gratitude, Marden says, isn't just a feeling, it's a practice. The more we train ourselves to notice the good, the more joyful and content we become. This chapter is a powerful reminder that happiness starts with a thankful heart. Chapter 14. The Strength of Hope. Hope is a powerful force that keeps us moving forward, even in the face of difficulties. In this chapter, Marden describes hope as the light that guides us through the storms of life. Without it, we lose direction and motivation. Marden writes that hope isn't just wishful thinking, it's a belief in the possibility of better days ahead. This belief fuels resilience and helps us bounce back from setbacks. He encourages us to nurture hope by setting meaningful goals and focusing on progress, no matter how small. To strengthen hope, Marden advises surrounding yourself with positive influences. Spend time with people who uplift and encourage you, and avoid those who drain your energy or fill you with doubt.
Hope isn't just about waiting for good things to happen. It's about taking action to create them.
As Marden says, the seeds of hope must be planted and watered daily. This chapter reminds us that hope, combined with effort, can lead to incredible transformations. Chapter 15. The Joy of Achievement. In this chapter, Marden explores the deep satisfaction that comes from achieving your goals. He emphasizes that the joy of achievement isn't just in the end result. It's in the effort, discipline, and perseverance that lead you there. Marden writes, "Every victory, no matter how small, is a step toward the summit of life." He encourages us to celebrate our successes, even the minor ones, as they build confidence and momentum. Whether it's completing a project, learning a new skill, or overcoming a personal challenge, Each achievement adds meaning to our lives. This chapter also stresses the importance of setting realistic and meaningful goals. Marden warns against chasing empty accomplishments that don't align with your values. Instead, focus on achievements that bring fulfillment and contribute to your growth. He reminds us to enjoy the journey as much as the destination. The climb may be steep, but the view from the top is worth every step. This perspective helps us stay motivated and find joy in the process of achieving. Chapter 16, Overcoming Adversity. Adversity is an inevitable part of life, but Marden believes it can be a powerful teacher. In this chapter, he explains that challenges are not meant to break us. They're meant to shape us into stronger, wiser individuals. Marden writes, "The oak tree grows strong in opposing winds, not in a sheltered valley." This metaphor reminds us that facing difficulties builds resilience and character. Instead of fearing adversity, he encourages us to embrace it as an opportunity for growth. One key lesson from this chapter is the importance of mindset. When we approach adversity with courage and determination, we turn obstacles into stepping stones. Marden also advises us to seek support when needed. Leaning on friends, family, or mentors can help us navigate tough times with strength and grace. This chapter is a powerful reminder that adversity is not the end, it's a beginning. With the right attitude, we can emerge from challenges stronger, more capable, and ready to live joyfully. Chapter 17, Living with Purposeful Work. Marden returns to the theme of work in this chapter, but with a deeper focus on finding purpose in what you do. He argues that work, when done with passion and intention, can be a source of immense joy and fulfillment. He writes, "There is no joy greater than knowing your work makes a difference. Whether it's a career, a hobby, or volunteer efforts, purposeful work connects us to something larger than ourselves. It gives us a sense of meaning and contribution." Marden also emphasizes the importance of excellence in your work. He believes that doing your best, no matter the task, brings pride and satisfaction. The joy is in the effort, not just the result, he says. This chapter encourages us to view work not as a burden, but as an opportunity to grow, create, and serve others. By aligning your work with your values and passions, you can turn even the simplest tasks into a source of joy. Chapter 18, Cultivating Inner Peace. Inner peace is the foundation of a joyful life, and in this chapter, Marden teaches us how to cultivate it. He explains that peace doesn't come from external circumstances, it comes from within. He writes, "The storm outside cannot disturb the calm within unless you let it." This means that no matter what's happening around you, you have the power to maintain your inner serenity. Marden offers practical tips for finding peace, such as practicing mindfulness, letting go of grudges, and focusing on the present moment. He also emphasizes the importance of forgiveness, both for others and yourself. Holding on to anger or regret only disrupts your peace and steals your joy. This chapter reminds us that peace is a choice. By prioritizing our mental and emotional well-being, we create a solid foundation for a happy and meaningful life. Chapter 19, The Influence of Character. Marden highlights in this chapter that our character, the sum of our values, habits, and integrity, is one of the most influential aspects of our lives. He argues that joy comes not only from what we achieve, but also from who we become in the process. He writes, "A strong character is a fortress of joy, built on the foundation of truth, kindness, and courage. People with good character inspire trust and respect, which strengthens relationships and creates opportunities for personal growth." Marden encourages us to cultivate honesty, responsibility, and humility. These qualities not only make life more fulfilling, but also help us face challenges with dignity and strength. He emphasizes that character is built in the small moments, choosing to do the right thing even when no one is watching. This chapter reminds us that joy isn't just about external success. It's about living in alignment with our values and leaving a positive impact on the world. Chapter 20. The Joy of Learning. Lifelong learning is a key ingredient of a joyful and meaningful life. Marden believes that curiosity and a desire to grow keep us young at heart, no matter our age. He writes, "To cease learning is to cease living." This doesn't mean formal education alone. It includes learning from experiences, books, people, and even failures. Every day presents an opportunity to expand our knowledge and improve ourselves. Marden encourages us to approach life with a beginner's mind. Whether it's exploring a new hobby, reading a thought-provoking book, or having meaningful conversations, these acts of learning enrich our lives and keep us engaged with the world. This chapter challenges us to ask, what can I learn today that will make my life more joyful? By staying curious and open to new ideas, we keep growing and finding fulfillment in the process. Chapter 21. The Power of Faith. Faith, Marden explains, is the anchor that keeps us grounded during life's storms. Whether it's faith in a higher power, in humanity, or in yourself, this belief gives us strength and hope to persevere through difficulties. He writes, "Faith is the assurance that no matter how dark the night, the sun will rise again." With faith, we can face challenges with courage and optimism, knowing that brighter days are ahead. This chapter also emphasizes the importance of self-belief. Faith in your abilities and potential fuels confidence and determination. Marden encourages us to silence the inner critic and replace doubt with trust in our capacity to achieve great things. Faith, as described by Marden, is a source of resilience and joy. It helps us navigate uncertainty and find meaning in both triumphs and trials. Chapter 22. Finding Joy in Little Things. Joy isn't always found in grand achievements. It often lies in the little things. In this chapter, Marden reminds us to slow down and savor the small moments that make life beautiful. He writes, "The music of life is composed of its small, sweet notes. These notes include a kind gesture, a shared laugh, or a quiet moment of reflection. When we learn to appreciate these simple joys, we enrich our lives in countless ways." Marden encourages us to practice mindfulness and gratitude daily. Notice the colors of a sunset, the sound of laughter, or the taste of your favorite meal. These moments may seem insignificant, but they add up to a life well lived. This chapter teaches us that happiness doesn't have to be complicated. It's often found in the simplest of things, if we only take the time to notice. Chapter 23. Living with Enthusiasm. Enthusiasm, according to Marden, is the spark that lights the fire of joy. When we approach life with energy and excitement, we inspire ourselves and those around us. He writes, "Enthusiasm is the fuel that turns dreams into reality. Whether it's your work, relationships, or hobbies, doing things with passion makes life more vibrant and rewarding." Marden advises us to cultivate enthusiasm by focusing on what we love and surrounding ourselves with people who uplift and energize us. Enthusiasm is contagious, and when we bring it into our daily lives, we create a positive ripple effect. This chapter encourages us to approach each day with a sense of wonder and excitement. Life becomes infinitely more joyful when we live it with enthusiasm. Chapter 24. The Joy of Gratitude. Marden closes the book with a profound reflection on gratitude. He writes, Gratitude is the heart's acknowledgement of life's blessings. This chapter ties together all the lessons by emphasizing that joy starts with being thankful for what we have. Gratitude shifts our focus from scarcity to abundance. It helps us see the good in our lives, even when times are tough. Marden suggests making gratitude a daily habit, whether through journaling, prayer, or simply pausing to reflect on life's gifts. This chapter reminds us that gratitude is the foundation of a joyful life. When we appreciate the present moment and all it holds, we unlock the true meaning of happiness. Chapter 25. The Joy of Progress. Progress, Marden argues, is one of the greatest sources of joy in life. This chapter emphasizes that no matter where we are, the act of moving forward, improving ourselves, learning new skills, or overcoming obstacles, fills us with purpose and satisfaction. He writes, "The joy of progress lies not in the speed, but in the steady march toward improvement. Whether it's a small step or a giant leap, each bit of progress builds momentum and confidence." Progress reminds us that life is a journey, not a destination. Marden also highlights the importance of setting meaningful goals. He believes that clear, actionable objectives give us direction and make progress more rewarding. When we take pride in our growth, even in small areas, we experience a deeper sense of fulfillment. This chapter encourages us to celebrate progress, no matter how small. Each step forward is a victory, and every bit of effort brings us closer to the life we want to live. Chapter 26. The Joy of Service. Marden ends his book with a profound message. The ultimate joy in life comes from serving others. He explains that when we dedicate our time, energy, and resources to helping those around us, we find a sense of purpose and happiness that nothing else can match. He writes, "Service to others is the rent we pay for the privilege of living. Whether it's through acts of kindness, sharing knowledge, or contributing to a cause. Service creates a ripple effect that touches countless lives." Marden also points out that serving others doesn't require grand gestures. Simple actions like lending a listening ear or offering support can make a significant difference. The act of giving selflessly enriches both the giver and the receiver, creating a cycle of joy and gratitude. This chapter reminds us that life's greatest fulfillment comes from looking beyond ourselves and making a positive impact on the world. As Marden beautifully concludes, the joy of living is multiplied when it is shared. Conclusion. With this final message, The Joys of Living by Orison Swett Marden leaves us with timeless wisdom. Joy is found in living purposefully, progressing steadily, and serving others selflessly. The lessons in this book guide us to embrace gratitude, hope, and enthusiasm, transforming our everyday lives into something extraordinary. By applying these principles, we can create a life filled with happiness, meaning, and fulfillment. I encourage you to explore the full book if you want to go even deeper into Marden's teachings. Remember, joy isn't something we wait for, it's something we choose and create every day. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed this summary. Here's to living a joyful and meaningful life.